Greetings, Earthlings. Today we are going to talk about the difference between dark souls and light souls. There's a lot of misconceptions about the differences between the two, and I'm here to clarify the misconceptions about these two. Let's start with anger. When a good soul gets angry, he or she gets angry because his anger is motivated by self-love. He's been hurt, you've been mistreated, you've been misunderstood, and because you love yourself, you are frustrated. So their anger is merely a, what shall I say, merely a expression of self-love and frustration. That's a good anger, an anger that is motivated by love, by self-love. And there is the dark soul anger, which is an anger that is motivated by the need for control and domination. So, when you can dominate a person, you're happy. When you can't dominate a person, tell another person what to do. When the person does not obey you, then you get angry. That's a dark soul kind of anger, which is motivated by the need for control, the need for domination. So anger itself is not a bad thing. It depends on, there are two kinds of angers. One is the dark soul anger, the anger that dark souls have, and there's a good soul anger, which is motivated by self-love and frustration of not being understood, not being treated fairly, etc., etc. So I want to clear out the misconception that anger is somewhat a negative thing. I would rather want to point out that anger is one of the closest expressions to love we can come. That is, anger is an expression of truth. When you're really true to yourself, when you're really authentic, when you're really getting real with reality, then you get angry. You're getting real. That's what anger is. Anger that is motivated by good souls, it's anger that is about authenticity and getting real. It is anger that is motivated by, you're angry because you can't stand the injustice and the corruption and the evil in this world. So that's a righteous, good anger. So, and when a dark soul gets angry, it's because it's motivated differently. For example, a narcissist or psychopath gets angry at his children or his wife. It's another quality of anger. It's an ego anger. The next misconception that I would like to point out here in this video is the misconception that attention seeking is ego behavior. It also depends. There are two kinds of attention seekings. One is a negative, one is a positive. The positive attention seeking is you seek attention for your uniqueness, because God has given you a unique gift, and you are here to share that unique gift, to be an expression of God's glory and God's uniqueness in you. That's a good soul. When good souls seek attention, they seek attention because they want to be seen for their uniqueness. For example, I love attention. In the good attention. I want to be seen for my unique strengths. I want to be seen for what makes me unique as a human being, for what makes me a unique expression of God. And there's the negative attention, which is you seek attention because you want others to see you for your car, for your clothes, for the things you have and the things you own. And it's an attention that is motivated by you want to look good to others. You want to look good socially. You want to feed your social image. your ego, social image, you want to feed it. You want others to recognize you as having a certain status or being good in a certain way or being rich. While positive attention seeking is attention seeking that is motivated to inspire others, to be seen for your uniqueness, to be appreciated and to appreciate others. So you must remember, attention, anger, whatever it is you think is negative, there are two kinds of every sort. It depends on the motivation behind it. Now, let's continue. And what more differences can we find between dark souls and good souls? For example, let's see what I can find on my mind. There's a lot of goodies there. Well, how do you know if a person is a dark soul or a good soul? Dark souls are motivated. Judgment, yeah, let's take judgment. There are two kinds of judgment. One judgment that good souls do, and one judgment that dark souls do. When a good soul judges someone, it is spiritual discernment. He judges you because he wants to make you conscious of your limitations so that you can rise above your limitations. So, a good soul, when a good soul judges, it is motivated to make you conscious of yourself only. When a dark soul judges you, it is motivated to make you feel guilt for what you have done, to make you feel shame. So their motivation when judging someone is to make the other feel shame and guilt, and so that they can feel better about themselves. That's a dark soul judgment. A good soul judgment is judgment that has the purpose of making the other conscious of himself so that he can rise above his limitations, rise above his misconceptions, to create more awareness in the other person, more self-awareness. So it's only motivated to make the other grow, not to make the other feel bad about himself, feel guilty or shameful. That's not the motivation of the judgment from a good soul point of view. From a dark soul point of view, when they judge you, it's because they feel so bad about themselves. They have so low self-esteem, etc. So they need to make others feel guilty and shameful so that they can feel better about themselves. So now you know that there's a good judgment and there's a bad judgment. I am involved in the first one. When I judge, I don't have the intention to make others feel bad about themselves or guilty. I can get angry for the things they're doing, but I mean, it's really a positive anger. It's an anger that is motivated by self-love. It is an anger that is motivated by authenticity. I cannot stand the lies and the corruption and the evil of this world. So that's a good anger. And then, here's some people walking. So, this video is getting too long. But the next time you think that something is negative, think twice. Think, does it come from a good soul perspective or dark soul perspective? Because there are good souls and there are dark souls, right? And a good soul have the same qualities as the dark soul on the surface, but it's the motivation, the intention behind what you're doing. It's the intention and the motivation of what you are doing that counts, not what you are doing. So, for example, So for example, if you are, whatever you do, don't judge it. Look at the motivation and intention of what you're doing. That's what makes you pure or impure as a soul. Motivation, intention. That's the ticket. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Soulwarrior once again. And yeah, let's post this on YouTube and have some fun with this, because there's a lot of misconceptions in the New Age movement. They say anger is negative, judgment is negative, these kinds of negative, but I'm here to destroy many of the New Age misconceptions by telling you motivation, intention is the key to a good soul. So in this world there are dark souls and good souls. Remember that. They may exhibit the same qualities on the surface,